I moved to Nashville in November of 2014, and I spent the first few months really just trying to get acclimated to the city. It was a really big adjustment coming from Baltimore, coming to Nashville. Um, Within my first month, however, I met Emerson Wells, an insanely talented songwriter who was looking for a violinist to record on his debut album. Through him, I met Joshua Dent, an extraordinary cellist whom I would end up playing wedding gigs with, as well as collaborating and recording with on other projects. And then I met Joanna Barbera. I'm sure you've seen posts about Joanna, but in case you haven't and you don't know anything about her or her music, you need to change that right now. Joanna sent me a message through Craigslist because she was looking for a violinist for her band, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I think I may have just met my first Nashville friend. And fast forward 2.5 years, and Joanna has become one of my best friends. We've lived together, we've cried together, and we've been playing in a band together ever since. She's an amazing songwriter and influence in my life. About 6 months after being here, also through Craigslist, I met bassist Timothy Nobles, who showed interest in playing with me, and he introduced me to Adam Tanaka, a local drummer, and before we knew it, Strange Rivals was born. Strange Rivals was an indie rock trio. I think I really began to understand the importance of the creative process with this band. I had never spent more time rehearsing and hashing out parts, experimenting with sounds and textures, really just trying to determine these very intentional details. Nashville is full of incredible musicians. I think just about everyone in my life here is an exceptional musician and a songwriter. Literally all of my friends here. I've been lucky enough to head out on some small tours and learn about that process. I've recorded in a lot of great studios here and played with various bands. I've seen friends day after day hustle and work their asses off, and that's really just inspirational to be around. In fall of 2017, I headed out on my first solo tour back to the East Coast, and I experienced the surreal nature of seeing myself on a billboard for the first time. But mostly I learned just how exhausting it was to tour on my own. I also learned that people were excited to hear new material and excited to see what was coming next. I brought a handful of new songs with me on tour, and the response was all in favor for violin, so I came back to Nashville and decided to start planning this EP.